From Atlanta News First Plus, this is Sports Tonight.
Welcome into Sports Tonight. Bailey Burmaster here, solo tonight on this Monday edition of Sports Tonight. We're going to talk a lot about the Braves and spring training and what's been going on there for quite some time. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about your Georgia Tech men's basketball team. So lots going on, lots in the process. But let's start with our Emily Gagnon, who was actually in Northport, Florida since last Wednesday, giving you all the reports and the latest. She's along with our photog Lee Smith. So let's hear, they've been having some fun with these stories. They've talked about the starting rotation, Alex Anthopoulos' extension that he got, a lot of the X's and O's of what this squad is going to look like. I mean, their roster is pretty much set outside the fifth rotation. But let's tune into what they had today.
Players in the Braves clubhouse are a lot more relatable than you might think. For instance, they're fans like the rest of us. Braves ace Max Fried could be seen sitting courtside at Hawks games this offseason. Center fielder Michael Harris II loves the Dogs. He was so happy to hear quarterback Carson Beck was coming back for his senior season.
I was excited because Georgia has another chance to go get a national championship, and I think he'll be the first quarterback taken in the next draft.
When you play 162 games a year plus the postseason, you're tired. What's the first thing most of us grab in the morning? Coffee. 40-year-old Charlie Morton knows a thing or two about it. If he isn't giving out baseball advice, he's giving out coffee advice.
Always buy fresh beans. Big coffee guy, Charlie, he's kind of walked me through that process of how to secure the perfect bean. Three days, if it's been roasted within 3 days, it's a little too fresh. So you kind of want to let it age.
I'm not a coffee guy, but my wife is, and my wife was like, hey, you need to ask Charlie what he recommends as far as, the beans and what he uses.
Friendships in this clubhouse are as strong as the coffee. They're built the same way so many of you spend your time.
A lot of us have dogs now, so we kind of do a little dog date.
Kelnick likes to play golf, so I'm here for that. I think Purcell likes to play, so anytime you get another golfer is good for me.
It's always great when you can talk a little bit about coffee at Braves spring training. Of course, you had pitchers and catchers report last week. Position players had to be there today. Ironically enough, if you remember last year, Marcell Ozuna was the last one to show up on the day he was supposed to report. It was very similar this year with a lot of players already reporting. Position players have already been there. Ozuna joined the squad today. They will have their first full squad practice coming up on Tuesday. Emily Gagnon will have all the reports from Northport about that and give you all the latest details. But let's hear what Braves had to talk about today during clubhouse hours.
I was ecstatic. I was super pumped. You're going to a winning atmosphere, and the reputation with the Braves from an outsider's perspective looking in is that they do it the right way and that it's a first-class organization. And so you hear all these stories about that, and then you get traded over here. It was from day one, since the second I got on the phone with anyone that was with the Braves, I kind of sensed that right away. So I was super happy, and like I said, I couldn't be more excited to be here and more excited just to fresh start with a new team and a new family.
What do you bring this team offensively and defensively?
I am someone that's just going to give you 110% effort every single day. That's something I take a lot of pride in. I'm going to go out. I've been working a lot on just approach stuff, working on my swing to be more inside the baseball and staying middle the other way. So, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm like numbers-wise what I'm going to bring you, because I'm not. I'm just going to go out and give you 110% effort. At the end of the year, I'll look up, and I think we'll all be happy with it.
Do you feel like, though, that you can grow even more here? Have
Yeah.
you reached your peak?
No, I don't think so. I think that kind of touched on it earlier, but you become, you adapt to the atmosphere that you're put in. And so I think the atmosphere that I've been put in and blessed with all these guys and all these leaders in this clubhouse, it's going to make me, I think it's truly going to allow me to reach my full potential with the guys in this clubhouse, just because you're going to feed off of their energy, feed off of their knowledge. And I think that's the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to doing, is being a sponge and trying to just learn as much as I can every day.
Is there anyone you kind of, I don't know, latched onto or really?
Yeah, I mean, Matt's one of a kind. You guys know that. Riles has been awesome. I mean, every single guy here has been super helpful with the transition, and they've been super friendly, and that's all you could ask for.
Look, I mean, this is, for me personally, I mean, I'm just addicted to getting back to the postseason, getting back into the World Series. I know everyone has getting the opportunity. I mean, there's no words to describe it. And for us to aim short and act like, we're satisfied just winning the division, I just think that's a lie. So for us to go in, obviously we want to win the division. It's hard getting to the postseason. You just got to get in the dance, and anything can happen.
You're one of the veterans in this clubhouse now at this point. Do you feel like that?
I mean, it still feels like yesterday. Getting called up and debuting, and time goes by fast, and I'm trying to enjoy it. And but yeah, I mean, I've been blessed just to play with so many good teammates, and I just want to, be that to, the young guys that are getting called up, and do everything I can for this organization.
Getting your buddy Tyler Matzik back, what is that going to mean to this bullpen?
Night shift's back. It's good to have Tyler back, and I mean, everything he's gone through, just another, adversity he's had to overcome, and, I fully expect him to, get back to who he is and just get back on the mound. I mean, I hope he's not, it takes time coming back from Tommy John, and I don't want him to go out there and feels like he has to strike everyone out and, be the legend that he is. Just go out there and, get his feet wet and just get ready to get back to the World Series and help us win.
Bullpen depth was obviously a focus in the offseason. How much have you noticed that in the early days of spring training?
Alex has done just a really good job of understanding how, versatile bullpen, ups and downs, injuries. You have to have, multiple guys you can go to, not just depend on 3 guys every year. And Alex knows that, and I feel like Snit's going to have plenty of options to, go to, late in the game, and that's what it's going to take. I mean, we know once you get into the postseason, the bullpen really has to come alive, and, I feel like this roster we have right now is built for it.
I'll ask you the same thing I asked a lot of other people. How long did it take you to stop thinking about the NLDS exit?
I'm still thinking about it. I don't think it'll ever go away. It was a special team, and Phillies, you got to give them credit because they just outplayed us that day. And but yeah, I mean, whatever can fuel you as a player, as a team. I want to get back and play the Phillies again in the postseason. That's what we want, and if you want to, be the best, you got to beat the best. And the Phillies, they've, right now, they've showed that they're better than us in the postseason.
What word would you use to describe this bullpen and why?
I mean, I think just the word is just depth. There's so many guys, like I said, that can just go in, pitch multiple innings, close out a ball game. There's been plenty of guys with that opportunity, and like I said, injuries are bound to happen. Knock on wood, they don't, but if they do, if someone does go down, we have full confidence that someone's going to come in and pick them up, and we'll be okay.
What do you think about Tyler's necklace?
Love it. That's Tyler. He has full confidence, and I mean, how can you not like it? It's definitely a statement piece.
Off season was great, and we getting here in spring early to get ready for another season.
How have you felt this just World Series or bust mentality? What does that mean going into this season for you guys?
You always come here, since day one, you want to work hard and go for the World Series. That's the goal. You want to win it all every single year, so here we are again.
What do you think the potential for this lineup can be after just an incredible season last year for you guys?
This lineup is special. Everybody can hit, and all I have to say is we just got to keep working hard to be better than we did last year. I mean, we set up a lot of records, but we didn't end up far, and we want to go all the way.
Why is it important for you guys to vocalize that so much, to make sure that people know that it is World Series or bust for this team?
World Series is a special thing. We accomplished that before, but I think one is not enough. We want to do it again, and that's why.
You seem like you have so much fun when you're around Arcia, Acuna. Try to describe that relationship between the three of you guys.
In general, we have a great relationship in the clubhouse with everybody. With them, it's a little bit extra spice in it to make it a little bit louder, a little bit more fun. So, that's what keeps you going for a long season.
Who gives the other one a harder time, you or Orlando?
I think we both are on each other, but I think I got to throw Olsen in there. He's the one, yeah.
Olsen, really?
Yeah, he is. He's sneaky.
He's a sneaky trash talker, is
Oh
what you're
yes,
telling us.
oh yes, 100%.
Okay.
How weird is this going to be without Wash? And how are you going to miss it?
Yeah, super. I mean, he taught us really well for 7 straight years. All I can say is thank you to him for all the hard work he put into the Braves. And it's going to be obviously different without him, but I think Tui is going to step up and help us go far too.
Does that mean doing the early work and all the same stuff is that going to stay the same?
Yeah, like you see, I'm sweating right here. I just finished working with Tui, and I did all my work, my pre-work I have to do before going into BP today.
So is it kind of a seamless transition with Tui then? When it comes
Yeah,
to
Tui handles the fungal really good. He does Wash help him be who he is today, so I'm pretty sure he has it together now.
In what ways do you feel like this roster has gotten better with some of the pieces y'all have added?
It gets better. You know, we add in pitcher and more position players. It's always great when, you know, you have that extra guy that can help the team accomplish something great to win the ball games.
Where do you hope to take the next step this season for yourself?
I mean, keep playing hard and, you know, help the team win in any way I can possible. And a lot of things comes with himself. When you play hard, good things happen.
Okay, going back to the Matt Olson thing, because this is fascinating to me. So he's a trash talker. You say, when does this happen for Matt?
It happens when he see us sitting and talking like quietly, and he jumps in it. That's what I can say.
He wants to be in the
And,
conversation.
oh yes, he will be. I know that.
That's amazing. Speaking of jumping in, when you look at your teammate over there, Acuna, what do you expect from him this season?
I mean, he did unbelievable. He had an unbelievable season last year, and this year I'm pretty sure he's going to just step up and keep doing the same thing he did. All we can see is probably the same numbers again.
It's been good. It's been fun, and I'm glad to be back with everybody.
Why does it feel like just naturally that you guys picked up like that?
I don't know. It's just good people. There's a lot of good people in here, so got to give credit to Alex. He's brought all the right people, and our coaches are great too. They know how to have a good time, so it's a really fun environment.
With the pieces you guys have added, how do you feel like this roster has gotten better?
How do I feel? I think our pitching got better, and that's what wins later in season. I'm sorry. Last year, unfortunately, we didn't execute when we needed to, and now that our staff and our bullpen got even stronger, I like our chances even more than last year.
Adding somebody like Chris Sale, what does that do to this rotation?
I think it hypes everybody up. I think at any point, if a starter wants to close out the World Series, you want to be on his team. He's not supposed to be in the game, and he wants the ball to win it all. I think that's going to be monumental for all the young guys, too, to have that same attitude, and it'll continue to help this organization grow.
What's it been like just trying to get to know him a little bit, catching for him? What kind of differences have you noticed about him?
He's been great. He's a goofball. He likes to have fun. I heard on his start days he's more intense. So we'll see how that is, and I'm really excited to work with him. You know, former Cy Young guy, and Tyler Flowers worked with him a lot, and he's still with us. So it'll be fun to like pick his brain and hear how Chris thought Tyler caught him as well, and hopefully there's a couple jokes in there too. But it's been great.
What are kind of like that you can share? Kind of just like the ongoing jokes and the.
I can't share.
I can't. They're just.
I can't share them. Yeah, they're not PG for the most part.
How much do you enjoy that intensity from a pitcher?
I love it. I think each pitcher's their own person, so when a guy gets hyped up, I feel like everybody on the field mirrors them, and along with the fans mirror him too. So the starts that he's going to make are going to be very intense.
There's a lot of young arms here as well that are pushing to make a 5th roster spot in the rotation. Do you notice that hunger from those younger guys as well?
Yeah, definitely. They all came in ready to go. All their bullpens have been tremendous. They're all in great shape. So it'll be a fun competition to see.
What's it like to still be working with Charlie Morton and the veteran leadership that he brings?
It's a blessing for me. Luckily, in 2019 with the Rays, I was lucky enough to meet him, and after everything I've heard, he's exactly what I heard. He's a goofball, loves to have fun, helps out the young guys a lot, which I think is huge for this organization, and goes about his business the right way. I think to have somebody like that who's 40 and still doing it is incredible.
Ozzy told us today that Matt Olson is actually a trash talker. Does he do the same thing to you?
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, try to watch him during the games too. He'll talk trash in between pitches too, to everybody. It's fun.
What word would you use to describe this bullpen and why?
nasty because they're all nasty. Everybody throws hard. Everybody has so much movement. So far, even with the new guys coming in, it seems like they're meshing really well, and they're all good people, like I said, and that makes a huge difference.
What do you think the potential is just for this lineup with how potent it was last year? What do you think it can be this year?
I think it could be even better. Everybody has that extra year of experience under their belt from last year, and I think it could be even better.
You feel like Sean's settled in more than this time a year ago, especially?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, this is his second spring with us, and you could already tell he's more comfortable coming in with more smiles, more jokes, and I think being around us for a whole year has helped him a lot. And I think he's grown tremendously, and he's fit in really well too.
What was your focus this off season, just for yourself?
For me, it was catch up on family time. My brother has 3 boys. My sister-in-law has 2 boys. So to catch up on family time was big for me. And then obviously just get the body reset to make sure it's moving right and be ready for spring training.
I saw you and your brother opened up a training facility.
Yes,
so what does
did.
that mean to do that, and why was that important for you guys?
For us, just to give back to the community where we're from. I don't think I would have made it to where I am today without the people that I was surrounded by. And I want to make sure that kids from my area are surrounded by great people and are taught the game the right way. That's the most important thing. I want to make sure they're taught the game the right way. I think sometimes the game gets in front of the instruction, so I just want to make sure the instructional development of the youth is there.
So are you hands-on in it? Like, are you going to be able to?
Yeah, I'll be able to help out a little bit. I mean, it's a little tougher for me now when I'm busy every day, but I like to show up a little bit and just say hi and just watch the kids and let them know I'm there for them.
I like asking some of the veteran guys. So who's a young guy that's kind of stood out to you so far in camp that we should be watching for?
Pitcher or position player?
Either.
Man, Smith Shaver. You guys know about him already. Yeah, not young but new. Sale, obviously. Bummer, I think, is going to be tremendous too. Not young but new. I think Kalenic's going to make a big difference too. He hit a couple of homers against us last year that I thought that weren't going to go out, so he's got crazy pop. So he'll be a big one to watch too.
AJ Mentor said super early in camp that it's World Series or bust. How much do you get a sense that is the join mentality of everyone in this club?
Everybody feels the same way. We all want to win it all and bring another championship back to Atlanta.
Thank you.
If at any point it came to it and I had a chance to pitch, I was going to do it.
Was there a certain point maybe in your pro career that you thought, like, yeah, maybe I should switch over and try this? I mean,
I know once I made the switch, it was going to be hard to kind of go back. I've always said, too, that I'd love to be a two-way guy. And in order to be a two-way, I feel like nowadays in baseball, you have to be a pitcher first. I'm not really sure what the Braves' thoughts are for me on that, but I did bring my bats, and I brought my I brought my extra gloves with me just in case, because I feel like just bringing my pitcher's glove was a little weird. But no, I've been focused on just pitching only, but I know I have the other in my back pocket.
What's it like being in camp and looking around? I know you're in minor league camp, right? But looking around, seeing the other guys, they're obviously much younger than you. But seeing the other arms, do you compare yourself?
Honestly, I haven't seen too many guys throw so far. Yesterday I had a bullpen, and it rained all day, so we were inside and just kind of scattered out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing other guys and what they have, and it's always fun for me to kind of, pick other pitchers' brains and see what helps them out. But honestly, I'm just kind of focusing on myself, and I'm at a point now where it's either, do it now or I'm done. But that's okay. I feel like that's the extra motivation for me to get out there and show them what I got and give it all I have.
What are some of the biggest challenges with making this transition?
Well, knowing that my schedule is a lot shorter during the day, I've already talked to a few guys, and I said, yeah, before I was out here at 7 o'clock in the morning with Wash on the backfields and then going into the cages and hitting and just doing all this extra stuff, and now my days are much, much shorter, so I gotta fill my time with extra things to do. But I think it's just keeping your body ready and keeping your mind clear, and knowing that for me, I have one job to do, and it's to throw a baseball and to be as efficient as I can. So I think just staying positive, helping other guys out when they need help. In turn, I think that kind of helps me out too. But really, it's just the same mindset as just going out there and competing, being athletic on the mound and having fun.
is there anyone?
What's your connection to the Braves leads you to do it here, and the fact that your house is between AAA and the majors. Because if you look at it, this would probably be about the last team, you know, you're going to make the bullpen out of with the guys that they added. But I know you have that deep ties to the team.
Yeah, just a better challenge for me. I mean, we all know that the Braves are obviously one of the best teams in baseball, and but we all know that every team needs pitching, and I understand that too. Yeah, it definitely helps that, you know, I live close, and they know that too, but they also did allow me to make that transition at the end of last year in Gwinnett, and so I have a few guys behind me, and it would have been a lot tougher, I feel like, to go somewhere else. With the new organization, it would have been more of a flyer, you know, for a team to take that chance with me. But again, it's a new challenge. It's something fun. It's something that I really worked hard on this offseason and put a lot of time and effort into. And you know, what better place to do it than Atlanta?
You mentioned the offseason. What's been the key this offseason to making this transition? What have you focused on?
It's the most throwing I've ever done in an offseason. I think the biggest thing is just staying healthy. You know, if you're not healthy, you can't help a team out. You can't help yourself out. And just knowing your body, knowing your arm, knowing when to step on a little bit, knowing when to kind of, you know, take a little break. And but then for me, pitching-wise, it was more on grips and filling pitches and throwing extra pitches and just certain thoughts on the mound. The off-season was a time to really think about your body and your mechanics, but hopefully I can let that stuff kind of be in the past and just go out there and get on the mound and compete and just give it 100%.
Were there any kind or
since making the transition, which pitchers have you picked the brains of for advice, and what kind of things have they told you?
Yeah, I think initially last year, the first time I had a stint in Atlanta in May, you know, I threw a couple bullpens of my own up there, and I was able to talk with, you know, Charlie Morton and Strider and Colin McHugh and Tyler Matzik, and those guys kind of helped me with certain mechanical things and certain thoughts on the mound. And then when I officially made the switch in Gwinnett, you know, being with a few guys with Mike Soroka and Alan Winans in particular with his changeup, I feel like I think I have a pretty decent split change, and he kind of helped me with the little grip adjustment. So it was fun for me because it's something new, and being able to see guys that have had success, you know, might as well talk to those guys and watch how they work and their thoughts on the mound. So I've had a few guys, you know, within the past year that's really helped me, and I've been kind of able to lean on those guys a little bit for some thoughts.
What would it mean to finish camp and make it as a reliever, whether at any point in camp for AAA, Braves?
Yeah, I mean, I know obviously making the team here at a camp is a pretty far stretch, especially with them not allowing me to come to big league camp, and I get that. But my goal is to make a team out of camp. Anything else is a failure for me because I feel like I don't really have as much time as other guys. You know, it's more of a challenge, and a challenge that I know that I can do, and I feel like it's just a mentality thing. You know, I've been able to adjust in my career, you know, plenty of times, making position changes and, you know, coming off the bench and going into pitch in a blowout game. So I try not to think about it too much, but I know what I can do. I know my ability, and I'm just going to lean on that.
How do you share?
Switching over
I was ecstatic.
Switching over to some Georgia Tech basketball news. Sitting at 11-15 on the year, 14th in the ACC, struggled within conference play, which is interesting because they've had some big wins, whether that's over Duke, who was ranked, UNC. They were on a 4-game skid, but actually was able to get a win over they were able to get a win over Syracuse 65-60 on Saturday. Let's hear from Coach following that victory.
Just really happy for the guys. They, you know, at times it wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. And, you know, unlike a lot of games, I would say, down the stretch, you know, I actually went in the huddle and said, man, somebody got to make a couple plays. If we can get a couple plays, you know, we can win this game. And, you know, I thought the two biggest plays of the game was Miles getting that and one, and then by getting that offensive rebound off the Kyle free throw. So, just really happy. I mean, it's been a lot, but, to finally, not finally, but just to get another win is just, I guess I'm trying to figure the squad out the most. I think it's really weird that we won 4 games in league, and every team we beat is at least 500. I don't know if that's ever been done. You know what I mean? So, proud of the guys and, happy we got the win.
Friday when we talked to you, you talked a lot about how important rebounding was, coming down with the ball with 2 hands, and, boy, you really whooped them on the boards tonight.
Yeah, we did a really good job of rebounding the ball, and we had 2 guys that had double-figure rebounds and 1 that was right on it. So, was just really happy that we got back to rebounding. That's something that we've been missing. But I thought we made a concerted effort, and I thought everybody that came in and played did their job in terms of getting to the glass. So I was really proud of our team for that.
Sort of take us through the game plan of attacking that zone defense.
Well, I mean, we didn't do a great job at times, but not the reality, but I would say the thing about zones is you got to move them. And so when we didn't execute against the zone, it was because we didn't move them or you take quick shots. You got to know your opponent. You got to know who they are. And when we did that, sometimes a long miss or a bad shot is like a jailbreak for them, and they're running out. And when we were able to move the ball, more importantly, when we were able to get the ball in the middle, that's when we were better. We gotta keep working on that. I don't know how many more teams we'll see that ran a steady diet of zone, that will run a steady diet of zone against us. But if we do, we still got to get better at that. But tonight we made the plays when we needed to.
Nate picked up that early third foul in the second half, and then Kyle came in. Can you just talk about Kyle's performance, what he brought? It felt like he was just a boost and spark, especially offensively.
Yeah, Kyle played well. He did a really good job. He made shots to keep us in the game, and then he made shots that kept us the lead. And I thought that having him was really pivotal to us. Nate. I always say this about guys, like everybody sometimes wants to say, well, what happened to it? Hey, man, it just wasn't his night. Sometimes it's like that, just come sit down and, your teammate will pick you up, and Kyle did a really good job of that this evening.
Damon, you hold them to 60 points. They only made 4 threes. Was there any specific you were trying to do on defense going into this one?
Well, the biggest thing for us is I think that they're a big 2-point shooting team, and my philosophy has always been threes beat you, twos don't. And Bell had made 15 threes in his last 3 games coming into this game, so I just wanted to try to limit his ability to make threes in this game. The guards are really good, but you're just trying to stay between your man and the basket. And I thought we did a good job of that. And they never found their rhythm. And although Starling made a couple, Mintz, he never found the rhythm behind the 3. And I just think collectively we made a concerted effort to try to take that away, especially Bell.
Georgia Tech's next game is Wednesday. They are hosting Clemson at home at 7. Of course, make sure to tune into Atlanta News First. We will have Emily's reports tomorrow after the Braves' first full squad practice. But that will do it for this edition of Sports Tonight. Make sure to join us throughout the rest of the week. We'll have all the latest sports headlines and more. Have a great night.